It was a cold winter evening when the train to Silent Hill Station departed. Among the passengers was a man named Ravi Kapoor, a well-dressed, middle-aged businessman who seemed to be in a hurry. Ravi boarded the train at Platform 5 and settled into his seat in coach B16. The compartment was moderately crowded, filled with the usual mix of travelers, commuters engrossed in their phones, a couple whispering to each other, and a child playing with a toy car. Ravi placed his briefcase on the rack above his seat and pulled out his phone, texting furiously. As the train rolled out of the station, the rhythmic clatter of wheels filled the air. About 15 minutes into the journey, the train plunged into a dark tunnel. The compartment lights flickered, dimmed, and then came back on. When they did, Ravi Kapoor was gone. His seat was empty. His briefcase remained untouched. His phone sat on the seat, screen still lit with a half-typed message. The other passengers exchanged confused glances. A woman sitting opposite Ravi had noticed him moments before the lights went out.
"He was just here," she said, her voice trembling. "I saw him typing on his phone."
The train conductor was called, and a quick search of the coach revealed no trace of Ravi. There was no way he could have left the moving train without someone noticing. It was impossible to open the doors while the train was in motion, especially in the tunnel. Yet Ravi Kapoor had vanished. When the train reached its next station, the police were notified. Inspector Aniket Roy, known for his sharp instincts, arrived to investigate. He questioned the passengers, but their accounts were consistent. Ravi had boarded the train, sat in his seat, and disappeared in the tunnel. No one saw him leave. The CCTV cameras installed in the coach were reviewed. The footage showed Ravi sitting in his seat, typing on his phone. And then, nothing. The moment the lights flickered, the footage went blank for exactly 12 seconds. When it resumed, Ravi was gone. Aniket was baffled. The briefcase contained papers, a wallet, and a key, but nothing unusual. Ravi's phone was equally mundane, no suspicious messages or calls. Yet the incomplete message on the screen caught Aniket's attention. It read, "They know. If anything happens to me." The investigation grew more complicated when Ravi's wife, Mira Kapoor, was contacted. She seemed strangely composed, almost indifferent.
"Ravi has been stressed lately," she said,
avoiding eye contact.
"Work pressures, you know."
When asked about the incomplete message, she shrugged.
"He was paranoid about everything. I wouldn't read too much into it."
As days passed, the mystery deepened. Witnesses came forward with strange accounts. A ticket inspector reported seeing Ravi board the train, but mentioned he seemed jumpy, as though he was being followed. A street vendor near the station claimed to have seen Ravi arguing with someone just before the train departed. The description matched a man who was later identified as Ravi's business partner, Ajay Mehta. Aniket summoned Ajay for questioning. Ajay admitted to arguing with Ravi but denied any involvement in his disappearance. "We had a disagreement about the company's finances, that's all," he insisted. However, his alibi for the time of the train journey was shaky. Just as Aniket began piecing together a motive, a twist shook the case. A cleaner at the train station found a torn piece of paper in a dustbin. It was part of a letter, and the handwriting matched Ravi's. The fragment read, "If something happens to me, look for the man with the scar on his left hand. He is not what he seems." Aniket's attention turned to the passengers on the train. One of them, a quiet man in his 40s, had kept to himself throughout the journey. A scar ran across his left hand. When questioned, he claimed he was a school teacher traveling to visit his family. But his nervous demeanor and inconsistent answers raised red flags. The scarred man was taken into custody for further interrogation. But as the investigation gained momentum, another twist came to light. Late one night, a railway employee discovered something chilling in the same tunnel where Ravi had vanished. Scrawled on the wall in fresh red paint were the words, "He's not gone. He's watching." As Inspector Aniket stood in the dimly lit tunnel, staring at the ominous message, He couldn't shake the feeling that this case was far from over. What had happened to Ravi Kapoor? Who was the scarred man? And what secrets were buried deep within the dark tunnels of the railway?